Hello people, welcome back to Beauty Jam. I do apologise if you can hear like a whirring, but I do have a fan on, so if you can hear that, I am sorry. But I'm hoping, beyond hope, that it's okay and it's not coming up in the audio. But if it is, I apologise and that's what it is. Yeah, today we're going to be talking about Avicii. Now, this is very weird because obviously I've never spoke about someone who has died before, but it's just, I don't know, it's just, I had like, okay, where do I start with this? When Avicii first came out, I was in school, and I remember hearing Levels, and it was everywhere, like that song was everywhere, and that was the first time I ever heard of Avicii. I didn't know him before that. Okay, actually that's a lie, I did. I knew Tim, who did Seek Romance, and I knew that song and it was very, very good. But I hadn't made the connection that Tim was Avicii, so the first time I heard of Avicii was Levels, you know? And it was on at school, it was on during the hall, whilst we were having lunch, like the music video, everybody was doing this dance, you know? And it was kind of like everywhere, you know? And I loved it, I loved the song. And that was kind of like the first time I ever heard about him. And then he released True. This is from my perspective. He might have released more songs in between that, but from my perspective, he released True. I was shocked that Levels wasn't on the album True. I didn't know why at that age, bearing in mind I was about 14, 15 at this age, maybe a bit older. But I wasn't 100% sure why Levels wasn't on the album, but I loved True. I love Wake Me Up, I love You Make Me, I love Hey Brother. Like, I loved the songs, you know, and they were kind of everywhere. I love Liar Liar, that was one of my favourites, and it was great. And then I started kind of becoming a follower. I'm not going to say I was his number one fan, because I definitely wasn't. I was like just a casual viewer, but I liked his stuff and I would follow him, you know. So if Avicii ever came out with a new song, I'd listen to it, you know. And that was kind of how it was. And then Stories came out and I didn't really like it. I didn't really vibe with it. I liked the nights and I liked the days, but that was about it. I didn't really like, I think City Lights was another one that I liked as well, but that was pretty much it. The album as a whole, not that I didn't like it, but I preferred True, you know. So I'd always end up going back to True Stories, True and playing that. Then he released True Stories and kind of went a bit more into detail about his life behind the scenes of making music, which I appreciated, because I always love to see behind the scenes stuff too. I have struggled to find that, because when he died, like, I was going to watch it again, you know, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Genuinely, I couldn't find it. I was looking on Netflix, I was looking online, I was looking on all the illegal flipping download sites with all the bloody pop-ups, and I couldn't find it. So I struggled to, I don't know whether it's just been erased off the internet, but I can't find it. But he released that True Stories and kind of went into a bit more detail, but before, you know. Anyway, then he released his EP, his Avicii EP. I don't know how to pronounce it because it's got that little thing above the eye and I don't know whether it is Avicii or not, but anyway, it looks like it, so I'm just going to say it is. Okay, so he released Avicii 01 EP and I loved it. That was like more like the True sound, and I loved it, and I thought, yes, this next album is going to be good, you know. Please, you know. And I liked it. I liked Without You, I liked Friend of Mine. I loved the album Lonely Together. It wasn't an album, it was an EP, but you know, I loved the sound of it, and I thought this next album that he's working on, if it sounds more like the CP, I'm going to love it, you know. And when he called it Avicii 01, I thought perhaps there'd be more EPs. I thought perhaps he'd release Avicii 02 and Avicii 03, do you know what I mean? So I thought perhaps this is just the first instalment of what the rest of the EP is, like a volume, you know. So I was excited, and then obviously things happened and he died. It was a sad time. I think at the time of it happening, it didn't register, you know, where it doesn't register. But yeah, it kind of hit me after about a month that, oh my gosh, he's gone, you know. But I was obviously very excited when they announced that they were going to release the stuff that he was working on, finish it off and polish it, you know, and they were going to release the stuff he was working on. And I want to say a big thank you and a big well done to the people who worked on this album after his passing, because I imagine that it would have been there would have been a lot of pressure, you know, because obviously this isn't your work. Well, it is your work now, but I mean, like, you want to do it how Avicii and Tim would have wanted it, you know? So it's obviously a lot of pressure from the fans and a lot of pressure just on yourself, because you know you can't just go to Tim and be like, does this sound okay? Do you know what I mean? So I imagine that there would have been a lot of pressure. So I just want to say a well done, and I just want to say a thank you to the people who finished this album off, you know. So, finally getting into the album. It's called Tim, which I loved because it's named after him, which I just liked that. And I'm pretty sure all of the proceeds from, is it proceeds? Yeah, from the album actually go to the Tim Foundation, which is for suicide prevention. So if you do purchase this album, the money is going towards a good cause as well, right? The first song, Peace of Mind, this is the first one because I listen to albums in order, you know. Even when they release singles, I listen to the single obviously, but when they're on the album, I listen in order, you know. So the first song is called Peace of Mind. Now, I was very, very nervous because I was thinking, because with Stories, I hadn't really vibed with it, and I was thinking, if this is another like album like that, I'm not gonna like it. I will give you a spoiler alert, it's not. So yeah, Peace of Mind, I liked it because you know what? There are some good messages to this album. Possibly Tim hinting at what he was going through, and it was basically like, can I get a bit of peace of mind? You know, can I get a bit of peace? And I was sitting there thinking, yeah, I want a bit of peace as well. You know, so it's like, it's just nice. But then you've obviously got the drop, the classic Avicii sound, I should say. And it was very, very good. A nice album starter to get you in, you know? It wasn't like a hard drop, but it wasn't, there was a drop. Do you know what I mean? So, yes, that was a nice song. Track number 2 is called Heaven. Now, again, I don't want to go on about the message, but again, you know, I was very, very shocked that Chris Martin was on it, because I thought that they did a song for them, and that was, well, Chris, and that was it. I didn't know that Chris was on his new album, so I was very, very shocked. Now the thing is, I'd actually already heard this song. I don't know where I heard it, but I knew that I'd listened to it. When I played it, I was like, I've heard this. I can't think for the life of me where I heard it, but I have heard this song before this album, 100%, but I can't think of where I've heard it. But I know that I've heard it because I've heard the chorus. So I don't know whether they released a spoiler like years ago, maybe. Well, not years ago, but like when Avicii was alive, and I heard it then. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I have heard this song before. But I did like it. And again, the classic Avicii sound at the end coming in, which I loved. And I think Chris Martin's voice is perfect for this song. So 100% yes, I like that song. Track number 3 was the first song they released, which is called SOS. Again, with the message. I can't keep reiterating how much with this message, but he has done a song with Aloe Black before, right? Did he do Wake Me Up with Aloe Black? I don't know, but I know he's worked with Aloe Black before. So I imagined that he wanted him on that track because he knew his voice would sound good, see? So I do like SOS. It's not my favourite, but I do like it. And when it first came out, like before this album, I was all over it, and that was being replayed, honestly. The people who I live with must just get irritated because like, when I hear a song, it's then played, you know? So, yeah. Number 4, Tough Love. This was the second single that they released. This one I didn't really... What is going on? This one I didn't really vibe with as much. I preferred SOS, put it that way. The drop, the violin, I thought that was crazy, and that was great, you know. But it's just, I don't know, I found the song, like the verses and stuff, just a little bit boring. I don't know. I was just waiting for the violin again, basically, you know. So yeah. But not every song can be the same, so I do kind of get it. But you know, that was one that I didn't really. Not that I didn't like it, but it was just one of them that's like, okay, yeah, you know. Track number 5, Bad Reputation. This is my favourite. My favourite on the album. I could trust it to be Bad Reputation, right? But I loved it because it was basically saying, yeah, I've got a bad reputation. It's going to follow me about. and I don't care. That's basically what the song is saying. And the drop, I love the drop, I love the beat, I love the tunes, I love the lyrics. You know, that's my favourite. Bad Reputation is my favourite on the album, definitely. Track number 6, Ain't a Thing. I love the drop. I love the, you know, like most of the actual music sections I do love. I didn't really get the lyrics. Well, not that I didn't get them. Of course I get them, you know, but I don't know. It just wasn't. It wasn't one of those songs that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play this, you know. But I did like Bad Reputation. Then number 7, Hold the Line with Arizona. Again, it was kind of like linked in with Ain't a Thing. It wasn't that great. See, I'm more of a hard drop kind of person, you know? I'm not really... I do like songs that don't have hard drops, you know? And I like songs like Wake Me Up and Levels, you know? But I do like a drop. And I like to have that section of music, you know? That's like... You got the verse, you got the chorus, and you've got that bit of music, and then another. I love that bit of music. I've always loved that in music, and I genuinely love that. Number 8, Freak. This is one of my second favourites on the album, 100%. This is, again, it's kind of like Bad Reputation. Basically, you're calling me a freak, you know, like, no. And I did actually really, really love it. I loved that song. I've put a heart next to it on iTunes as well, which I loved. And with that, we go into number 9, Excuse Me, Mr. Sir. Again, I loved it. At first I was like, why is this called Excuse Me, Mr. Sir? You know. But then at the end he says it and I was like, oh, okay, there it is. Okay. So, yeah. I don't want to keep going on about the drops because everybody knows that classic Avicii sound, so I don't want to keep mentioning it, but again, it's classic. And I loved it. Now we get into Heart Upon My Sleeve, which is Imagine Dragons. I didn't really like that one. I was like, okay, you know, you're not gonna like every song on an album. I will, hands up, definitely say that. I think even artists themselves, obviously when they release an album they like every song, but I think even when they look back, there's probably songs that they think, why did I put that on that album? Do you know what I mean? Like, I just think it's the way that people are. 11, Never Leave Me. It was okay. I liked it was like mild. No, I don't say mild. It was like subtle. That's the best way to put it. That's a subtle one. And I do like it. It's like a little break between drops, let's say. Yeah, and then the last one, number 12, Fades Away. Now I love this because you're ending the album with a song that's called I can't speak. That's called Fades Away, which I think is great because it's like everything fades away. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's a nice finisher. That's what I'll say. It's a nice finisher. So that's the album as a whole. Those are my thoughts. I do really appreciate this. I will 100% say that. Like, the people who did this, like, thank you so much, and the family too. Thank you for releasing it, because just imagine if like these songs would have just been left in the Avicii archives, let's say, and never been released. But they actually allowed it to happen, and I want to express my appreciation and gratitude for that, you know. And yeah, I can't pick, to be honest. My favourite song is Bad Reputation. I do love Freak as well. My least favourite song would probably have to be Hold the Line or Heart Upon My Sleeve. One of them. I can't really pick, you know. And as for his best album, I can't pick, you know. I do love True, but I like this one as well. So I can't pick between which is his best album. But I have listened to this over and over again for all of June, and I listen to it when I'm at the gym, when I'm on the treadmill. When you're on the treadmill, this is a banger, right? So it's just one of those things. Yeah, I have listened to it over and over again, and it's been great. But that's it. That's what's sad about it. Like, once I'd listened to it for the first time, I think I put it on Twitter as well. you know, I was very, very excited and it was great and I was loving it. But I was also like, there was like an element of sadness because in the back of my mind I was aware that this is it, you know? Like, we're never ever gonna get more Avicii music, which is what is so like saddening about it. And I'm not, like I've already said, I'm not gonna sit here and say I was his #1 fan because I was a casual listener, you know? But even I felt that element of sadness of, this is it, you know? Like, that's it. So I can't imagine how, you know, like the people who've got tattoos and stuff, like I can't imagine how they would feel, you know? Because it's just a terrible situation. And I hate that that's a thing, but it's just, I don't know. I don't really know how to express. I'm not very good at expressing feelings. If you've been watching me for like the 4 years that I've been on YouTube, you would know that I'm not very good at expressing feelings. But I am very saddened that, you know, Avicii's gone and he's not going to be doing music anymore. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. And he was one of the best DJs to ever live. I will hands up say that 100%. You know, along with David Guetta and Swedish House Mafia and, you know, other greats like that, Afrojack even, he's great as well, you know. So, along with all those people, Avicii can 100% stand by them and say, you know, he was one of those, like one of the greats, you know. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video here. I hope you enjoyed it. I will leave a link in the description below to the album. Make sure that you stream it and listen to it because all of the proceeds do go to the TIM Foundation, I'm pretty sure it is, and I'm pretty sure that it's for suicide prevention. So the money's going to a good cause. So I would 100% recommend that you definitely buy this album. And yeah, so I'll leave a link in the description below. And yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe for more videos from me. If you have already listened to this album, then let me know in the comments below what your favourite songs were. And yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.